Someone else that we are getting only their second feature album, and this is only part one of it, is Moses Sumney with Gray Part One, and Part Two is going to be dropping a couple of months, May 15th. So
Hmm.
we'll be talking about that. It's going to be 20 songs, so we got a little over half of them. It's a 12-song debut, and I don't know if we reviewed Aromanticism when it came out,
Mm-mm.
um,
Did not.
but it's an album that I found myself listening to every once in a while, and really impressive debut. Uh, he established himself as a very unique R&B singer songwriter, who really does bend genres from singer songwriter. I think that's why maybe that label fits him better than just like R&B artist. He
Yep.
has this like incredibly distinct voice, this incredibly distinct perspective, and aromanticism I think especially focuses on what it talks about, like romance, um, but also just like self-discovery, self-growth. It was a really impressive uh, debut for me. Did you get a chance to listen to it prior to
Oh
Gray
yeah,
Part One?
yeah. I caught up on that a few years ago. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I think most and these thoughts continue for this new run with Gray, but he's just a really unique singer songwriter. As you said, it's kind of hard to compare him to other people because he's so comfortable just bouncing around. I think a big part of that is not just the kind of the sound he does, but also what he does with his voice from song to song is just
Mm,
kind of variable. He's very happy and willing to change his delivery, and whether that's the pitch or the speed, it really does change a lot. So it's kind of hard to put him in a box
yeah.
song to song, and that's kind of how I felt, because he released I think 4 singles from this first
Hmm.
part of the double album already, Cut Me and a few other ones. And yeah, you just listen and it's like, yeah, this sounds like another Moses Sumney song. And as singles, they're kind of hard to digest, I think, until you
Hmm.
kind of get what he's going for. And I guess in a sense, because this is only the first half of something, it's maybe foolish to try and get what he's going for now either. But the talks of like ambiguity, and there's some
Hmm.
talk about like gender identity and stuff. And there's
Yep.
even I think it's an unexpected like narration section on this, on one of the songs towards the end. But
Yep.
yeah, Moses Sumney, definitely just a talent, really really cool person to follow. And it's to do something as ambitious as a double album that you're going to announce as 2 distinct parts, I think is pretty cool in general.
Yeah, and for your second album, I think it's clear he's incredibly ambitious. I mean, just kind of to give a general sense of some of the genres that he goes through on here. I mean, there's definitely classically inspired songs on here. Like there's some chamber pop, definitely more like Bowie-esque, like art rock, yeah,
Mm,
on here
sure,
too.
yeah.
He has some jazz, acoustic, like it really goes all over the place. And you mentioned a great point, which I wanted to bring up. Where I really see the growth for him, because I think his songwriting and aromanticism is also really, really good, and he does a great job here. I think crafting songs in a very interesting way. But I hear him using his voice because he's mostly falsetto, right? He's known for like that very high, almost like can go toe to toe with Frank Ocean, probably voice wise, in terms of distinctness and the level of range. But he goes low in a couple of the songs here, and it really, I think it really adds an element. And it almost, I had to check the track because I thought maybe he had a guest singer on the track, that it was just so different than anything I really heard in Aromanticism. I really thought that was very impressive. Um, I I'm also, I think, just kind of blown away by his ability to, like, I think you said this, craft a cohesive project that's
Hmm.
so unique sounding, from song to song, but seems to still flow really well. And I'm really interested to see how Great Part Two kind of fits in with the rest of these songs, because you talked about a lot of different themes on here, and I think this works great as just its own album. So to hear how he expands on this in a couple of months, I'm definitely very intrigued. This is definitely up there for me with Tame for one of my favorite early albums of the year. So we'll see come May 15th. Any last thoughts on Moses Sumney?
Definitely has few contemporaries right now. Want to be checking this out. He's talented. He's good.